Okay, let's talk about the fourth day of creation. On the fourth day of creation, God made two great lights. One to rule the day and one to rule the night. The greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also. So there's something that nobody understands, and I didn't understand it just till very recently. And it's about the fourth day of creation. Something awful happened on the fourth day of creation. You can read about that awful thing happening in Enoch chapter 18. Jude verse 13 refers to it, or he refers to what happened on that day. And sorry, I'm getting on 94. And this is really simple, but it's something that I guess if you didn't really think about it before, you probably haven't thought about it before. So on the fourth day, he created all those things. And what do stars do? What do stars do? They go on their courses. Right? Or there's an ordinance. It's a commandment of God. And these stars, they never go off of their courses. They're obedient to the commandment of God. Sorry. He ordained them to go on a certain path. And every star in the sky right now, or tonight, obeys that commandment, that ordinance. But on the fourth day, there were these 7 that did not obey the ordained course of their path that God commanded them. 7 of them. So on the fourth day of creation, what did God do? He created a prison. And it was for those 7. And they're still there today. So there's been a mystery that's been kept secret since the foundation of the world. And the mystery is that there's a prison. There's 7 stars in it. And since that time, since the fourth day, there's been other luminaries or stars or angels or whatever you want to call them that have sinned and broke God's commandment. And the best way to describe it is in Genesis 6. Whoop. Sorry, I'm switching lanes. So in Genesis 6, there was these angels that left their estate in heaven and came down to the earth and manifested in some type of form. Obviously a form that could reproduce, and they found women human women to be attractive, and so they took wives and created offspring. And I think there was 200 angels that came down. They got thrown into that prison. And I know a lot of people right now are going, no, they were buried in the earth. Yeah, they were buried in the earth. Yep. For 70 generations. And then they were let off to the abyss of fire. The abyss of fire. The bottomless pit. Hell. And the interesting thing here is Jude, verse 13 that I mentioned, really is very interesting what it says. It says that those 7 stars, or well, it says the wandering stars, are reserved until judgment in the blackness of darkness, in the waters above. So, and we know it's talking about space because it's the place where the wandering stars are. You tell me where the planets are. Where are the planets? They're in space, right? So on the 4th day, there was a commandment broken. God created a prison. And where is the prison? It is the firmament of heaven. That is where Sheol is. That is where hell is. That is where Tartarus is. So, when space exploration becomes an endeavor, there's only one reason why. And it is because there's 7 transgressing stars and 200 angels imprisoned in that place. So what have they done? Enoch chapter 19, they've taken and assumed different forms to mislead mankind, to cause them to go astray and sacrifice to demons as gods. So, when NASA ascends into heaven, what are they doing? They're not exploring. They think they're exploring. What are they actually doing? They're destroying the earth. They are they're destroying the earth. The firmament of heaven it separates the waters above from the waters that are here. So they go into those waters and it messes the whole creation up. And the end result being, for 2 reasons, the sky's going to fall down and the earth is going to become darkness. The earth is going to sink into the darkness, into space, whatever you want to call it. And when that happens, that darkness, those dark waters, they become fire, which burns eternally. So the subject of flat earth comes up, and people like to say that, to me, they like to say, Joe, you've made flat earth into an idol. You're worshiping the creation and not the creator. And here's my statement to those people. No, flat earth is here to save your life, to save you from the second death. Flat earth is here because you need somewhere to go. You need somewhere that's not a lake of fire to live in, or to a place to live where it's not on fire and where it's not in a deep abyss. And that's flat earth. know how New Jerusalem comes down out of heaven from God, and his tabernacle will be with men. The temple of God comes down out of heaven, built without hands. That's flat earth. And yes, it is a belief. New Jerusalem is a belief. But it will save you from staying on this place that's going to burn. So no, it's not an idol. And no, it's not in competition with the Son of God. It's the words coming out of his mouth. He's uttering the words out of his mouth that he declared at the very beginning. And on the fourth day, there was a great deception that was devised, and we are at the end of that, the peak of that great deception right now. And it is the globe. And what is the beast? What is the beast that keeps you believing the globe? The only thing the globe's got, and it's a lie too. There was 7 wandering stars back on the 4th day that did not obey God's commandment. Now there's 8. There's 7 wandering stars when Enoch, in Enoch 18 and 21, when he went to see that prison, the prison for the stars in the host of heaven, there was 7. Now there's 8. Can you figure out this riddle? What is the 8th wandering star that you see up in the sky? If you even look up there. If you pay any attention to the sun, moon, and stars. How many wandering stars do you see at night? You don't see 7. You see 8. The International Space Station. John saw that. That's how I know it's the International Space Station. John said there was an 8th mountain there. When Enoch went, there were 7 mountains. He called these stars, he called them mountains. The 8th, excuse me, the 8th mountain is the beast. In Revelation 17, verse 9 and 11, I think, it says that he's of the 7 and goeth into perdition. The beast that came up out of the bottomless pit. So, just because it says bottomless pit, or it says hell beneath, don't assume that that's talking about from your perspective. I think that's talking about from God's perspective. Beneath. Hell is below all the heavens. But hell, or this prison, is not an earthly place. It is a spiritual place. It's for spirits. Sheol is not for flesh bodies. Sheol is for spirits. Spirits. It's a spiritual place. It's up in the sky. Now, it's not heaven, but it's in heaven. It's part of the celestial realm. It's not part of the earth realm, earthly realm, terrestrial realm. It's not terrestrial. So, there you go. The commandment broken on the 4th day was the secret kept since the beginning of the world, since the foundation of the world. And now, it's being made manifest by the scriptures of the prophets and according to the commandment of the everlasting God, that it's made known to all nations for the obedience of faith. It's hard to believe at first. It's hard to believe that this globe could be a lie. we have so much evidence, Google Earth and pictures from space. It can't be a lie. Well, that's why you have to have faith. That verses I just kind of loosely quoted there was Romans 16. The last 3 verses in the book of Romans are good verses. So I talked to some people who consider themselves to be scholars of the word, Bereans, people that study the word, and they do study the word. But when I say that there's a there was a commandment broken on the 4th day, man, that pisses them off. And I don't know, it's in the scriptures. See, Enoch chapter 18, Uriel explains to Enoch, he says that those 7 stars, he said, they transgressed the commandment of the Lord at the beginning of their rising. What does that mean? That means the first time that they went, the first time that they rose. That happened on the 4th day when God created the stars. The 4th day. So when Paul was shown a mystery, and in Revelation 10 verse 7, when it says the mystery of God should be finished, as he has shown or declared to his servants the prophets, that means finished. It's over. The deception is over. Are you going to remain deceived, or are you going to come out of her and repent? Turn around. Get away from this lie. Don't believe it. That's up to you. But that's why I understand the things I understand, is because he made me witness. He made me witness to them, and so that I say the things I'm saying in this video to hopefully help you consider things that you probably haven't considered before. Because I had to do that when he showed me too, which is just a month ago or something that I started to understand this. The 4th day, the commandment broken on the 4th day is a secret. And now flat earth is here to save you. So no, I'm not worshiping the creation. I'm worshiping the Son of God. I'm not making it an idol. He is. And it's not an idol. He's making it known to all nations for the obedience of faith. He's telling the truth, and the people, Paul wrote about this to the Thessalonians, the people who don't receive the truth, they have a father of lies. They're going to perish. I'm at my job. Don't believe the lies. Believe the truth. And you won't perish. And that's why the truth is here to be, or that's why it's being revealed. Have a good one.